Hi everybody, we are Mike and Brenda Baker, and today we're going to be talking about empty nesting rules for the remarried.
All right, so empty nesting rules for the remarried. Okay, what's the number one rule? What's the number one rule? Your kids are still not more important than the others, okay? Now, for you ladies, your kids are not more important than his kids. For you dudes, your kids are not more important than her kids. That rule stands throughout the entire marriage, well into adulthood, okay? The most successful remarriages we've seen are the ones where mom and dad completely accept each other's kids, regardless of the kid's attitude on the other end.
And just a caveat there real quick. If your kid or kids has an attitude toward your new spouse, it is your job to help them fix it. It's not the step-parent's job, okay? We see more and more issues with people when the step-parent is trying to fix the kid's attitude, and the kid doesn't even respect the step-parent yet,
No.
especially if you had teenagers when you got married. So please do yourself and your marriage a favor and put those kids of yours in line. It's your life too. You don't have to live your life for your children. You've got to put them in their place and show them where your healthy boundaries are so that you can have a good marriage.
And you don't need your kids' permission for jack.
No.
Okay? That is up to you. You help them, you fed them, you changed them, you bathed them. You don't need their permission. Okay?
Yeah.
So, on top of that, number 2 is the time you never had. Okay, so we talked in another video about the time you never had and using it, but look, you've got to use this time wisely. This is the time you guys never had on the front end. You know, most people get married and then they have kids, but you're remarried and you started more than likely with kids. So you never had that initial, you had the dating stage, sure, and you had to get married, but you didn't have that getting to know each other before kids and what's this look like and what's that look like. And there's no X's in a normal marriage. So, I mean, let's be honest. The time that you get now, you've got to use it wisely. It's got to be relationship building, and it's got to challenge each other as well as yourselves.
Yeah, and it's really, really important to not be afraid of the time that you'll have when the kids all leave the house.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's awesome. Yes, it has its challenges. You're not going to have a perfect remarriage when you're empty nesting, especially right at first. No one does. It's okay. It's not just you. Mike and I have been empty nesting now for about 7 months, and prior to that our son wasn't home a lot because we lived out of town and his fiance lived in town, which was 45 miles. So he would stay at my mom's house or his brother's house or, you know, with some friends. He did a great job keeping us informed, but he didn't come home a lot. So we've really been kind of empty nesting for a while. And yes, it's had its challenges, but it's also been really awesome because we have found new things to do together. We have talked about topics that maybe weren't as awesome to talk about when we were younger. And so it's been a really bonding experience. And each stage that you go through with your kids in the house and then with them gone, they have multiple blessings. So just see it that way.
Right. So I want to take a second and just hop right down to number 3, okay? And we touched on this in number 1 a little bit.
Yeah.
Healthy boundaries with your adult kids. Okay, so way too many families with no healthy boundaries for their adult kids. It was a common rule in the house that there was no back talking mom.
Yep.
Okay, this is a boundary I put with the boys when they were young. And I always told them, look, if I won't take that kind of lip off a guy my age towards mom, I'm not going to take it off of you. And I would always tell them, remember, she is my wife before she's your mom. Okay, and that can also go into the whole, husband first, dad second thing, but that's in another video.
Yeah.
So, look, you've got to have healthy boundaries with your kids from the get-go, all right? And don't waffle later because it seems like you're being too estranged about it. You're going to have some problems. There's a good chance you're going to have some problems with some of the stepkids. There's a chance that at some point stepkids are going to step away entirely.
Yep.
And I'm sorry to tell you that. I would love to tell you that there is a fix-all, be-all, but we're not here. Let me put it this way, okay? We're not here to keep you as a 100% cohesive family all the time.
Yep.
Because as a mixed family, your rate of success at that is highly against you.
With the kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the whole family unit. What we are here to do is help you build a marriage that will be a remarriage that will be your last marriage, and that all of your kids will eventually look at and want to model, even if you don't necessarily all get along, or even if they don't necessarily get along with each other.
Right, and that can be a really difficult pill to swallow. We're being vulnerable with you in these videos. We're telling you things that our family has dealt with and is currently dealing with. 2 of our sons don't talk to us.
They're my
2
sons
of them.
from my sons from my first marriage. That's what she's trying to say.
It sucks, okay? It does, but it is what it is right now. And some healthy boundaries had to be set. And so far they have not been
Repentant would be the word.
well, I wasn't even talking about that. But so far, the healthy boundaries that I've put down have not even been addressed. Or, I mean, it would seem that the particular son just doesn't give a crap. And that's okay. That's on him. I've done what I can do. I don't hold resentment or bitterness, but I'm not too happy with him either. So, honestly, sometimes when we talk about what we're gonna say on these videos, it's tough, because who wants to talk about all their baggage? But we're here to show you and to tell you that we've got baggage even now, and we're still going strong in our marriage. We're gonna celebrate our 25th anniversary, September 11th, which, okay, it was a good day before it was a bad day, but it's been a lot of hard work, and blended family life is. So if you have some problems in your marriage, congratulations, you are normal. Regular marriages have problems, but blended marriages, remarriages are a lot harder because you come into it with a lot of baggage. So just understand that you are not alone. We're not trying to preach at you. We're just trying to say that here are the things that we've seen over and over and over again that don't help couples. And we want you to learn from these things, take things in, figure out how that works for you, and then go have a wonderful marriage, right?
So, just a note for you guys. I set some hard boundaries with all of my sons, not just mine too from the first marriage, but all of my sons. And those boundaries were challenged when they became adults.
Yes.
The most important thing that I did, that I feel I did, was stick to those boundaries. And when those boundaries were challenged and I stuck to them, what I was told was, just because you've always thought that doesn't mean you have to keep thinking it. Okay, it does if the information hasn't changed. Consistency in your boundaries is vital. I have no doubt that one day we may be able to put that relationship back together.
Yep.
But if I am not consistent, then I am more a part of the problem than he is, because I did not lead well and I did not set a proper example. Am I being hard-nosed and stubborn? No, I'm not. But what I am doing is laying groundwork for a stronger relationship later.
Right, and sometimes you have to figure out what your hard lines are. We all do. I have too. And I just want to tell you that if you are having problems with your adult children, this territory does come with extra problems. Because the way that you raise your kids as they're growing up, kids and stepkids, doesn't always translate the same that it actually happened
Yeah.
to them because they're living it, right? You are too, but you're an adult, so you see things differently. And sometimes the kids just really remember things very, very differently. I have an example about that. Recently I was talking about something with my mom, and I remember asking her, is that really how it went, or do I just remember it that way? Because the one thing that issues with our kids has taught me is that maybe I don't remember everything exactly the way it happened when I was growing up. And so I found myself asking my mom a lot if certain things were actually happened the way I remember. And there's been several things that I was wrong on. And so honestly, it's helped me to have more peace with our situation, just because I understand now that the way I remember things is different. And so that's potentially very much the same. Mike's ex-wife is extremely narcissistic, and she used the kids and weaponized them and tried to get them to hate us. And she would do things like say things to the kids before talking to us and get them on board and excited so that we would look like the when we said no. Okay? And I apologize for swearing. I don't normally, but it's it just makes me angry to even think about it. So those things happen. Your ex might be weaponizing your children against you, trying to get more time, trying to push whatever agenda they want. That does happen. And so we feel for you. We understand where you're at, and we just really hope that these videos are helping you to move forward rather than staying stuck and feeling like, man, I'm the only one, I must suck, and that's the reason I'm having so many marriage problems. No. Marriage problems are going to happen more in a remarriage, but you do have to put in a lot more effort and be a lot more careful with the things that are baggage from your past.
Yeah. So healthy boundaries with your kids, absolutely essential.
Absolutely. All right, well, that's all for today, and we thank you so very much for being here with us. We ask you to please share these videos if they're helping you. Maybe they can help someone else, and we will talk to you again soon. Bye.